Is D&D about to expand its multiverse? We break down the shocking new job posting and comments from the head of D&D.
A whole new world.
It looks like D&D is gearing up to make its first significant, truly new addition to the multiverse in years. Before we dive into today's story, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help support a new independent tabletop and fantasy news channel. So, over the weekend, Wizards of the Coast posted a new job listing for a senior narrative world-building designer for Dungeons & Dragons. The new position will help Wizards of the Coast create, and I quote, exciting and inspirational new settings alongside developing existing settings. We'll add that this appears to be related to the wider D&D franchise, not just the RPG, as one of the position's responsibilities will be ensuring narrative consistency across video games, entertainment, and the D&D RPG. Now, the job listing's full set of responsibilities includes build and develop comprehensive narrative world-building materials for the D&D franchise, design and flesh out new worlds, locations, and settings within the D&D multiverse, evolve and expand existing D&D settings through compelling narrative development, build and develop franchise-level characters, factions, and storylines, ensure narrative consistency across the franchise portfolio, including video games, entertainment, and the RPG, collaborate with cross-functional teams to align world-building elements across different media, develop detailed lore documentation and creative briefs for our fans, partners, and team members, and lead narrative development for our world bibles and style guides. Basically, it seems like D&D is looking almost for a showrunner type of person to help manage its worlds with an eye on creating new stories. Now, D&D choosing to build out new worlds is a big deal for several reasons. Especially during 5th edition, D&D has mostly relied on Magic the Gathering and Critical Role crossovers to whet the appetite for new worlds. The only notable exception to this was the Radiant Citadel, which featured a ton of new campaign settings that were very briefly explored through short adventures and never really followed up on. We haven't gotten a fully fleshed out new world, and by that I mean a full campaign setting book or line of campaign setting books, since Eberron back in 3rd edition. We'll note that in Intervale, the campaign setting introduced during 4th edition was mostly fleshed out through little snippets across various D&D books. We also got the Shadowfell during 4th edition, which I believe was a new edition, and did receive a little bit of focus, but not very much of one. Now, if you've been following my coverage over on EndWorld, you'd know that this seemed to be the direction that the franchise was going. At a press event earlier this year, D&D franchise head Jess Lanzillo mentioned that new campaign settings were potentially on the way. When asked by me during an open Q&A session about the prospect of new worlds and old worlds returning, she mentioned that the shift within the D&D RPG studio helped to encourage world building. With Jeremy Crawford taking on the game director role and then Chris Perkins taking on the creative director role, that meant we were really able to re-establish a world-building environment, she said. What does that mean? We can really establish our worlds and settings like the Forgotten Realms and also look to creating new ones again. That's something we are working on, and we don't have anything to really discuss today other than to tell you we are re-establishing everything that we have, and we are going to make some new stuff too. So, why is this a big deal? Well, new worlds mean more storytelling possibilities and more room for players and designers to explore without upsetting fans of existing settings. Let's take the Dragonlance setting, for example. The Dragonlance campaign setting was reimagined during 5th edition as a wartime setting, but that, frankly, pissed off just about every Dragonlance fan who felt like the most recent campaign book didn't do the setting justice. A new world means new places to explore, which sounds fantastic to us, and also keeps those old worlds consistent and, established and kind of untouched for fans to enjoy. So let us know what you think about D&D's new direction in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Above the Table.